Drilling the Victoria Template, Part 24, marking out and drilling the Plywood Template for the Stuart Victoria. The original mounting of this engine was slightly odd, using a thick piece of flat bar to support the pedestal. I don't want to use this, so I cut up the original baseboard to make an accurate template for my template. This clip shows a piece of the original base with the engine sat on it, which in turn sits on my template. A quick flashback. This is when I removed the engine from the original template, and the mahogany block, which in turn supports the engine, was screwed to the original baseboard. In this clip I'm removing the 4 screws that hold the engine to the baseboard, being very careful not to put too much pressure on the engine as I do this. And as usual, the last screw that you remove is the tightest of them all. But they came away without any problems. I lifted the baseboard off the engine, and as you can see, it's quite a complicated arrangement. This substantial shaped steel bar holds the engine to the pedestal, or the pedestal to the engine, depending on which way you want to look at it. It's very much a belt and several pairs of braces approach. I did this part of the job a while ago, and as I removed the engine from the baseboard, I didn't forget the bucket with its bayonet fitting. Once I'd removed the bucket and its fitting, I chopped up the baseboard using my bandsaw. I didn't need to mark anything out. I could clearly see the shape of the engine on the baseboard by the marks where the engine had been. I turned it around to look at the piping arrangement for the pump, and yes, everything more or less looked okay. I just needed to reroute some of the piping. Once I'd cut out the piece of baseboard using the bandsaw, I put the engine on top of it, and this is what I'm going to use to line the engine up on my template. Maybe not brilliant engineering, but it's going to work. The holes in the baseboard will line up with the holes in the bottom of the mahogany block. I wondered why the builder had used this shaped metal plate, but I think it was to make an adjustment because the height of the pedestal is not the same as the wooden block. I'll approach this problem later on in the build. When the engine was on the piece of baseboard, I drew around it. I know it's not an accurate line, but it's accurate enough. The engine base is in the right place and everything lines up. What I need to do now is select a twist drill to drill a hole through my template. Please note that I'm drilling through the original baseboard and my template using a larger twist drill. It's only slightly larger, but I need a little bit of tolerance. You will note that I didn't drill all the way through because I don't want to drill any holes in my workbench. I drilled the holes about 6mm deep into the piece of 12mm plywood, which is the main template. I didn't really need to do this, it's just so that any viewers don't get confused. These are where the holes are. Here's 2 of them, and there's another 2 at the other side. Why is there a large square hole in the piece of mahogany? I really thought about this, then I had a look inside the hole. Believe it or not, it's the way that the nameplate is fastened to the mahogany. Personally, I don't think I would have bothered. Maybe super glue wasn't invented in those days. Here I'm trying a couple of new wood screws for size. Don't forget they're going to go through a much thicker baseboard, so they need to be a little bit longer. Here you can see the holes at the other side, and the other sort of random looking holes are for the water tank. This caused me a bit of a problem because the original legs on the water tank were slightly bent, and I had to allow for this. Then I decided, no I don't, I will straighten the legs. I haven't marked out the position for the boiler yet because I'm not quite sure exactly where it's going to go. There's not a lot of space on this board. I'm going to try and be economic with the size of it. With the baseboard overhanging the bench, I'm now drilling the holes all the way through. And I'm using a slightly larger twist drill because I do need a little bit of tolerance, as I mentioned earlier. At the moment the workshop needs a good clean, particularly the floor, which has quite a lot of sawdust on it. I try and keep the workshop in the house tidier than the main one. I drilled out the holes for the water tank, and as you can see here, it's more or less accurate. It just needs a bit of a tweak. But that's it for now. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.